Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today we're going to be doing the Week 4 review of the USFL season. So this week, there's really not that much to talk about. A lot of the games are pretty simple or close, but there's not a ton to talk about. So you had the Stars versus the Panthers, which ended with the Stars 1-point win. Generals and Maulers, which the Generals won by 8. The Bandits, Stallions remain undefeated. They won 16-10. And then the Gamblers, Breakers, with the Breakers winning 23-16. So for the Philadelphia-Michigan game, if you really want to know a lot about it, I have a link in the top right you can click because I did an entire video pretty much about the end of that game, and that pretty much gives you the gist of what happened. As for the Generals-Maulers game, the main thing to look at this game is that, well, the Maulers naturally still suck, but the main thing is that the Generals' 2 QE system for the first time truly worked as 2 quarterbacks. Both Luis Perez and DeAndre Johnson played in this game, and they combined for a 20 out of 24, which is a really solid amount, for 200 yards with an 8.3 average yards per attempt. And their QBR together was probably about like 130 or 120. They both played exceptionally well at the quarterback position, and the team actually didn't run the ball that well. They only had 113 yards, and yes, only. So overall, the team played really solid on offense, and they got the job done against a really terrible team. Then as for the Tampa Bay Birmingham game, this had a lot less action than I think anyone would expect. I think the main reason was that Alex Magoo had to start for the Stallions because Jamar had some sort of illness during the week, and I think they decided to just rest him. So Alex Magoo ended up playing. He was all right. He wasn't great, but he was all right. Overall, the game was a pretty close, boring game for the most part, with the biggest thing happening being the tragedy known as Brandon Aubrey missing a kick. He literally had not missed a kick his entire USFL career, and he ended up missing 1 field goal in this game. He still leads the league in every single kicking stat naturally, but we hate to see it. In the last game of the week, the Breakers-Houston, the major takeaway points are the fact that the Breakers actually did it. They got a new kicker, and their new kicker was spectacular. To put it simply, he made 3 of his field goals, with one of them being a 50-yarder, and he didn't miss a kick, but the difference is that kick was blocked, so he didn't actually really miss it. So he went perfect from field goal, which was the main reason they won the game. And the biggest was probably the fact that during their last drive, they decided to go for it, which if you clicked that link earlier, the Panthers didn't. And they ended up scoring a touchdown, which just put them way over the edge, and the Gamblers couldn't come back from that. The Breakers, I'm mainly going to talk about them more during the power rankings, and you'll see they pretty much lead the league in every single offensive stat now. So overall, that was pretty much it for this week. It was a really basic weekend. There's not that much to talk about. But overall, it was a week in the USFL, and this has been Zomfox. If you guys enjoy this content, want to be notified as soon as I upload videos, subscribe and hit the bell, and as always, have a great night.